Hey, Jack. All right. You got this stuff?
Yeah, all cleaned and oiled.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Live from Springfield, Missouri, the one, the only, Heat Green. Hell!
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Well. Good morning, everyone. And let me just say right off the bat, I apologize for our late start. Had some unexpected developments at the real job, and it could not be avoided. So I am here, ready for this massive free-for-all, as I like to call it. So, good morning, John. Good morning, Martin. How are you,
Keith?
gentlemen?
I'm doing pretty good.
Morning, Keith. Morning, John. Good morning to our beloved audience. And yes, I'm doing pretty good too. Better now than I'm sharing time with you.
So, are you guys ready to check out season 2 of Reacher that starts today? Ooh.
I still need to finish season 1.
Wow. Well, let me just say, I really enjoyed season 1 of the show. I'm hoping season 2 can be just as good. It definitely catapulted itself to the top of my must-see list as far as streaming shows, and I'm happy that they were able to come back for a second season. I mean, what shows are you guys currently watching? That's what I would like to open up to everybody. What is your current favorite? Because for me,
Monarch.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm crawling into my watch list. So I'm watching Monarch. I'm watching The Night Flyer before it gets out of Netflix. I'm watching. No, I was watching Blue Eye Samurai because I finished it. And that's it. Monarch and Night Flyer
Good.
when I have the time.
Oh,
Fortunately,
yeah, go ahead.
Fortunately, Monarch is delivered episodically, so I have more chance to prepare the time and to have a time slot to watch it.
Cool. I'm glad, because look, they could not have timed this better with the success of the latest Godzilla film. But we did have a question from Tim. So he says, my question was, what was your first paying job? Wow, that goes back a ways.
Yes, it does.
My first paying job that was not something that I did for my parents. Let me put it that way. You know what? I used to deliver this paper called Grit. For those of you outside the United States, it was what's the best way to describe Grit? Grit was just this paper filled with stuff that, you know, useful. It wouldn't be considered much of anything today, but nothing too harrowing in its in its various editions. Lots of coupons and other things mainly, but it was something that was easy enough for me in starting out. You know, my first professional pay gig, as far as getting paid professionally, geez, yeah, that's even. I can't remember my first professional gig paycheck. I know I got one. I did some commercials that I got paid for, and worked on a few assignments, a few things uh, here and there, filming a few things, but for the most part, you know, various things before I went to work for technically for CMT for a bit. So, which is country music television for those of you who didn't have cable. So let me open that up to everyone else. John, Martin, what were your first paying jobs?
Well, technically, my first paying job was I was a paper boy for the Sedalia Democrat.
Hey,
But the first actual regular job I had was I worked at Eddie's Drive-In here in Sedalia.
what'd you think of that?
It was okay. I mean, it's fast food, so. It's about all you get at 16.
Good point. How about you, Martin?
First paying job for real was I was IT manager in how can I put this? The university in which I studied, they had uh, an institution in which they developed technology,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't they were more like coordinators for the projects. So the office wasn't that big, and they we have enough people that with one person on IT was enough to handle everything, and that was my first job.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not much to say about it.
Oh no, that definitely reveals something about all of us, really. Wow. I think the question for me would be, what was the first job you held that you actually liked?
This one,
To be fair, I've had a few jobs that I've really liked, but the first one that I can truthfully say that I outright loved was working retail in a mall at a movie store, and I'm in my element, man. I gotta tell you,
Suncoast?
you figured it out. Suncoast, and let me just say, to this day, that's still one of my top 5. You know, uh, if if I weren't, if I were 30 years younger and not married, who knows? You know, I might still be working that job, but it was fun. So
My first job that I that I truly loved was I was tech for the College of Engineering at University of Missouri.
Cool.
And but the one I loved the most, and the one I'm trying to get back to, is I was the tech for College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences at University of Central Missouri.
Oh. So basically, you were a tech pimp.
Yeah, you know me. I've always been in IT.
Tech pimp. Got it.
Yeah. Except for the minute and a half I spent in journalism.
Just a minute and a half?
Yeah, that's about all. It's just a few months, because when they kept telling me to rewrite my stories with a particular slant, I was like, that's not what I was trained to do. And that was the end of that.
Yeah. Don't blame me for moving on. Okay. Let's see. Who else has something to ask? First of all, thanks to everyone that has shown up for the show today. And Wolverine 626. Beverly Hills Cop 4 teaser trailer wasn't terrible. Eddie Murphy focus, which is a plus. Well, yeah. That is always a plus.
Well, it's his movie, so.
Yeah. But even so, it's good when your lead actor is focused. So
yeah.
I wish
now,
everyone.
Isn't that supposed to be about like his daughter?
I think so, which is a big change from some of the other versions of it that have been around for years. So that's the only thing that kind of makes me a little wary, for a long, long time. Beverly Hills Cop 4 was originally meant to be a spin-off television series about his son. And all the different things that they've developed has been about his son. The fact that it's about his daughter shows that there are some hoops that he had to jump through probably to get it made. So,
yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Now that isn't to
ESGs
say
everywhere.
that I'm disappointed that it's about his daughter at all. I'm a girl dad, okay. I'm just saying, had that been the point all along, that's one thing. But having to make a change like that, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited that he's back doing it. I'm excited for the cameos and co-stars that he's going to have in this film. I just hope it's good. First and foremost, I hope it's a good detective story, and on top of that, I hope it's funny, because that's the one thing that the third movie was kind of missing.
Yeah, it wasn't as funny as it should have been.
That's right. It just needs to be. It needs to have that balance, So anyway, we were hearing from. Oh, it's Joe's Atmosphere. Oh my goodness. What does Joe have to say? Morning, brothers and sisters, lurking while working. First job was batter chicken with the Colonel's 12 original herbs and spices for KFC at age 15. Wow, dude.
Okay. Rumble is giving me the business again.
Uh-oh. What's the matter?
Oh, StreamYard doesn't want to connect with it. I checked everything. Everything would be in order. Or better said, it is in order, but it says there are trouble with the destination. Ah, man.
Technology.
Again, I'm gonna have to kill the Rumble stream, which is, for all practical matters, dead.
Yeah, if we're not broadcasting over there, yeah. Yeah, they've been having a lot of problems lately.
Well, I apologize to anyone from that's on Rumble and or is usually on Rumble. Let's see who else is here. Uh-oh. D-Bud Martin, good morning. A.M.A, good morning. Penny, the lovely Penny, good morning. Let's see. Wolverine 626 says, I'm halfway through Blue-Eyed Samurai. Good show so far. Yes, it is. And again, that cast that they have, Google that cast. That is an incredible cast of actors they have lending their vocal talents to that. I was not expecting such an impressive list of actors. That just makes me enjoy the entire thing all that much more. And for those that haven't had a chance to check it out or no longer have Netflix, I just want to alert you to the fact that the first episode right now of Blue Eye Samurai is for free on YouTube. So you can check it out. But understand, this, in my opinion, is not something I would show to anyone under a particular age. There's a lot of adult stuff in there. The violence is very, very, very violent. And lots of sexual situations, including at least one scene with a couple that's obviously not collecting stamps. So
one dozen at least, man. It was a good thing I started to watch the show by myself because I was one. I wanted to watch it with my daughters, and then oh no, this would have been so
I even said it when I first look. I've said that before. I said this is not something that this is definitely I don't think I would have watched this with my kids. So some of the violent stuff in there is really, really violent. But I give them high praise for how they were able to create some of these sequences. Some of these fight sequences are well choreographed. And when I say choreographed, I really do mean choreographed. Indeed. You have to look how they felt, how the behind the scenes of how they made this. Wow. It's a really good show. It's definitely on my short list for my top 5 of the year. So, how about you, Martin?
Well, I think I told you that the throne, how is that called? I always forget the name of it. The League of Legends show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Arcane. Really?
Yeah, and Arcane is my number 2.
So you're talking all time. Oh, wow.
It's my because Arcane was my number 1. My top was in the top of my list of animation in Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's number 2.
Wow. I couldn't answer that. I can't choose between the two. I think Blue Eye Samurai is fantastic, but I also really loved Arcane. And both shows brought something new to the table. That's part of the reason why I think Disney is suffering, because they could very easily have done stuff almost like this years ago. I still refer to the pilot for Tailspin, which is a much better episode of that show than the individual episodes. The pilot was amazing. And then the show just kind of, when they started into the regular series, it got a little jokier and not as dangerous. And I thought that was a mistake to go that direction, you know. Walt Disney's Tailspin, which is really just a twist on the Jungle Book, is really what it is. It's using all the Jungle Book characters, but doing it in a different way. And, you know, it's different. But I like different. I liked it when Disney was truly trying to push the boundaries of what they would normally do. And then suddenly they just stopped and started playing it safe. And that's the real reason why I think when Warner Brothers Animation officially came back under Steven Spielberg, that's the reason why Warner Brothers wiped the floor with Disney and chased Disney from really from regular television, from syndicated, and chased them all the way to cable. I mean, again, it isn't so much that, you have to plan to do something like that. You have to plan to launch the Disney Channel. So they were doing it for a few years, but it's just that in syndication, Disney owned it. Disney had the top 3 to 5 programs on there for kids. And suddenly, from the moment that Warner Brothers Animation under Steven Spielberg showed up, they started beating all of the Disney shows. All of them. Tiny Toons Adventures, Freakazoid, heck, even Batman the Animated Series. So, yeah, Warner Brothers just both them and Disney really, really, really need to step up their game, because this current batch of DC animated stuff, the stories are great, but the animation's nothing to write home about. We were getting better stuff years ago, prior to the big changeover. So, anyway, let's see. Joe's atmosphere, first job he really loved was military policeman. Wow. Joe. Well, that beats mine. So, okay. Let's see. Wolverine 626 says Miller's Girl with Jenny Ortega and Martin Freeman looks interesting. Timely, you could say. I've yet to see that one. I may have to check that out. I think Jenny Ortega and Amon Villani are two young ladies whose careers I think are going to be incredible. I like the way they work, and I can't wait to see more from both of them. Let's see. And let's see. Okay. Oh, more from Wolverine 66. Let's see. Lead voice actress is in the upcoming Mr. and Mrs. Smith for Prime Video. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Don't know how I feel about doing a Mr. and Mrs. Smith television series.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
I mean, you have to be willing to get a little silly, and you have to be willing to temper that with some really good action. I mean, you got to be willing to basically try something different. Don't just give me the standard action fare. The thing about Mr. and Mrs. Smith is that when that movie came out, it had things in there that we'd never seen before. So you need to step up your game when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm not going to poo-poo the idea. I'm just you have to give me some wow moment. Let's see.
It's one of those things where nobody asked for it.
Basically, yeah. Wolverine 66 says Blue Eye Samurai has a lot of roosters depicted. Shockingly. Yes. Yes, it does.
It has a lot of everything.
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. That's all I can say. Sorry, I'm a little tickled by that. Let's see. Oh, and Wolverine 66 is stating that Martin Santana's avatar looks like a slimmed down Tom Connors Jr.
Okay. Number one is Acosta. We're letting people we have two last names, so go figure. So, yeah. Well, don't I don't think I haven't thought of that, man. The first time when I saw Tom, because I only had my goatee when I made these things, and the first time I saw Tom, I said, "Oh, looks like me, but younger."
Of course, A.M.A had to point this out.
It is not. What is that? Is not a boomer thing. It would have been boomer if I were using Gerry's avatar, for example, like someone in the chat who's calling me boomer has done before.
Hello, Anima.
However, I can always revert to the old back if you feel a little uncomfortable. See, you two have real nice avatars.
Well, I got mine courtesy of Gerry. I have Gerry to thank for that. So,
I can thank my AI overlords for my avatar.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared to do that. I'm scared to have AI do my avatar because yeah, I'm a little frightened of that.
Why?
I don't know. It's just something weird. Something weird. I can't explain it. It's just it's a feeling,
Okay, let's do a little stroll for memory lane of my avatars. This is the original. I was using this for a time, but Gerry got freaked out and kindly told me that don't do that again. This one I remember with fondly. I do not know what is this and this doing here. I really don't know.
I can't explain those.
But I've been prepared a new one.
Really?
Yeah. This one. It comes with my new job title, of course, which is oh, here it is. A second. This one.
Okay, so you're chopped liver.
Yeah. Captain Chopped Liver.
Captain Chop. Yes. CCL. You're anything but chopped liver, my friend. You know what? Go with your new one. That's you. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's a little slimmer, especially in the midsection. There wasn't much option. It was this or Jabba the Hutt. So,
yeah. You know what? You do you. That's it. You do you. Okay. So, anybody else have any questions? Because this is a free for all. So ask us anything, and if we can answer it without need of legal representation, then yeah, it's all
Yeah.
good.
Oh, before we go into the AMA section,
Mhm.
did you know that situation in Hasbro apparently is leading them to change their logo?
Really?
Yeah, it's unofficial yet. It's here.
As broke.
Hey, look, I feel bad for those guys. I really do. You know, I think I agree with the assessment that it looks like Star Wars has been a leading contributor to what is
Yeah.
happening right now with Hasbro.
Well,
Um,
yesterday Clownfish put out a video, and apparently they're considering licensing everything to McFarlane Toys.
hey, McFarlane will make it look great. He's he's still one of the few out there that is really good with the figures that he puts out. So, in fact, his DC stuff, I love all of the stuff that they're putting out there. All of it is just fantastic. You know, personally, I think if Warner Brothers wants to just go ahead and let McFarlane just be the one to put out all of the DC related stuff, I'd be fine with that. And it's looking like they've shut down DC Direct, so which is sad because they had some stuff they were offering through DC Direct, some amazing stuff, and that just goes to show how bad things are behind the scenes with Warner Brothers as far as being able to make more money. You know, which means Disney's worse. You know, Disney could be making so much money. But again, they've decided to make they've made the choice not to pursue a lot of the stuff that would just be easy stuff for them to do. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I find it kind of odd that you spend billions to buy Fox and you don't want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't understand why they got Fox.
It's for
The nature of Fox's content is in so stark contrast with the nature of Disney's content.
yes, it is. But you know what? You can't. What has been proven is that you can't just be known and just make one type of thing. A lot of people keep forgetting Hollywood Pictures in the 90s. That entire studio was Disney. You know, Hollywood Pictures and a lot of the comedies and dramas that they did, that was all Disney. All of it. And the recording portion of that, the audio portion of that, where they had Hollywood Pictures, Hollywood Records, which means that for several years in the 90s, Hollywood Records was the official American distributor of the entire Queen catalog. As in Freddie Mercury and the guys. Freddie died before they could go through the rest of their contract, but they released 2 albums through Hollywood Records. And I just think that there is room for more adult stuff. You just got to plan it really well. And you don't have to put everything that Fox has ever done under the Disney banner. You can create a whole new release, a company to release all of that stuff. Or, as some have suggested, That's what you use Hulu for. Just put all of the Fox content on Hulu. But, you know.
Well, but man, that I don't know if that is a smart move because yeah, at least here in Mexico we don't have Hulu.
Well, then allow other
And
people to do it. You know, Netflix and Amazon. And look, I'll tell you here right now. They should go ahead and let Netflix have all of their Alien movies, starting with the original Alien, then going to Aliens, and all of that. Let them have it. They'll pay good. They'll pay big money for that stuff. Trust me. In fact, oh, go ahead.
Just don't put out the last two. My God, Prometheus and Covenant. No.
You know what? That's almost like a whole separate thing, even though it is tied to it. That's almost like a whole separate thing entirely. I don't know how I would handle that. I'd still put it out there. If somebody's willing to give you money for it, that's all good. Anything to help with, financially to keep the company going. Disney, though, is going to need money. And their legal situation with the state of Florida is not going to get any less legal, which means it's going to still be expensive. Even by this time next year, probably even more expensive. And the fact they've just done nothing with any of this stuff it just boggles my mind. You know, what genius is sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm just going to pay it all this money and just sit on it. It's like, really? Anyway.
Yeah.
I brought this up on several shows, and I know Disney's not really listening to me, because if they were, I'd tell them you need to just get off your backsides and just make a deal with somebody at this point. You know, Apple would be preferable. So would Netflix, heck, even Amazon. But Fox's, their catalog, it's means nothing for you to just sit on it. So anyway.
Yes, I would like to ask our audience. Come on, people! This is an A.M.A. Ask your questions.
We're willing to answer.
Satisfy your curiosity.
Wolverine 626. Disney should be forced to sell 20th Century Studios. They never should have been allowed to acquire them to begin with. While I agree, they probably never should have.
I mean,
it's
Disney when Disney went on that shopping spree. Are they not liable to monopoly laws, anti-monopoly laws?
That's the reason why for every major deal like that, you have to wait for the government to approve it. You know, that's the whole thing about Warner Brothers the way it is now. It took quite a while for David Zaslav to take possession. You know, and
welcome, Admiral.
Admiral Teague. But it took quite a while for Zaslav to take possession, almost a year, basically. And in that time, that's where we got all of this lovely content that was left behind by the people who formerly ran Warner Brothers before David Zaslav got there. That's where you're getting stuff like Black Adam, Blue Beetle, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, all of that stuff. And It's a nice little present left behind by the people who used to run everything. Because that's what happens when you tell people, people who are fired or losing their jobs, and you give them a year to vacate the premises. What do you think's going to happen? So yeah, with Fox and Disney's got so many problems right now. Let's just say, if you are a young and upcoming lawyer that would like to take an opportunity to try to make some money and make a name for yourself, you can always see if Disney will hire you. There are a lot of people at Disney and either currently connected and will not be in the future or thinking about retiring or whatever. They're going to need lawyers. There are going to be a lot of lawyers for that place. So Wolverine 626. To be fair, though, Warner Brothers has been sitting on a lot of their catalog too. Far too many shows have yet to even get a DVD release, like Dark Justice or Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. You are correct, sir. You are correct. I will say this. If you're not going to put it out yourself, you should find someone to put a lot of that out there for you. I'm a big proponent in finding a company that will handle whole sets of series or films, and let them just do the whole thing and load it down with special features. If you're going to go to all the trouble of cleaning up a film or a series, load it down with special features. Because those of us that buy this stuff, we like stuff like that. I think that's, to me, is the biggest disappointment with Marvel Studios, is that when you look at a lot of the films that they've released, you get next to nothing when it comes to your special features. I don't know why that is. I always found that mystifying. Admiral Teague, WB kind of admitted they aren't together enough to make a movie, so
He is always right, and there are proof of that.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief said. His voice alone inspires one with absolute credulity.
Oh, wow. I wish that were the case. I really do. But unfortunately, I do have my moment. So I will say this. Right now, Disney and Warner Brothers are both in trouble. But Warner Brothers can pull themselves out if they can figure out a way of getting really of paying off a few more bills. They are. It's not that easy for a studio that doesn't own any theme parks or anything to find their way to be able to get as much money as possible. It's not that easy. Which again brings us back to Disney. It's like, well, Disney, what's your problem? Because even when you make a movie, probably would have been better off not making a movie. I'm looking right at you, Wish. 6 years down the drain. And the Marvels. And again, we're still on track for everything that they announced. You guys do realize that, right? So we're still going to get quite a few releases now. Even though the Marvels is pretty much stiffed at the box office. We're still gonna go down that highway here. So Yeah, Admiralty. The Godzilla movie is awesome and costs less than one episode of Shiitake Mushroom Hulk. There's
Yeah.
this better.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
right.
reportedly it was 15 million, but the director came out and said, "I wish I had that much." They actually did it for less than 10.
Wow.
This just gets embarrassing more and more for Amazon. You're going to spend $1 billion on a television series that nobody likes. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Mr. Bezos. I know I'm bringing it up again, but $1 billion. I mean, even Disney's got to look at you and go, wow. 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 It's just, let me just say, nobody would blame you guys if you just decided to just cut that entire project loose. I'm sure you could find uses for that $1 billion somewhere else, doing something else, anything. But
Expanse season 7, 8, 9.
No, not in the hands of those. Look what they did to the last 3 seasons. No, I don't. I prefer.
Actually, with the exception of a couple of changes, like the whole thing with Alex, they have been remarkably book accurate.
I don't know. The last 3 seasons were boring. No, I'm not saying they are bad. Just saying they are boring.
Yeah.
Because and it may be a sensation because the first 3 seasons were action packed. Everything was against the clock. We're going to die. We have to do something right now. And then so slow. The stories were good, but except that I think they focus too much on. Oh my God, I forgot the name. I loved that character so much.
Oh, hey, you know what?
But in the way, in a good way, is not
drummer?
No, never the terrorists.
Oh yeah, I forgot what her name is.
They linger too much onto him, and the way in which we dealt with him was so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Well, look, it is still close to the top of the hour here, so I think we better.
Sometime. Now, I do want to see what Amazon is going to do with season 2 of Rings of Power because they were scrapping. You know me. I am here sitting with my popcorn, watching the
Martin,
dumpster on fire.
You are a better man than me, man. If you could sit through any of that, because I'm done.
No. I just want to see the train wreck.
Oh, okay. Well,
probably about like they did for the second season of
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time, yeah.
Man, you have to laugh instead of cry.
Yeah.
But this
Cam,
hello,
Crash Courses. Hey, hello and welcome. Okay, just to remind everybody, this is a free-for-all episode. We are willing to answer any questions you want to put to me and or the other gentlemen on this show who are the real powers behind what I do. I just show up as a talking head and say a few things and, do Keith stuff. But I totally admire anyone that is able to sit through episodes of Ring of Disorder. So I just $1 billion. I just have to shake my head. I can't. Not with us. Not sober.
Oh, come
Can
on,
I
man.
even? Can I even think about
You have
watching?
you have to understand. Armor made of foam is not cheap. My God.
Boom! They printed T-shirts. Their freaking armor was made of T-shirts.
Oh my God.
You know
We're
what?
hosting John.
On behalf on behalf of Star Trek Discovery and all the new Trek stuff, well, that's them. The only
Cosplayers
show.
make better armor than that stupid show did.
That is true, man. That is true. Man, cosplays nowadays are on another level. It's crazy what
Yeah,
these people can do.
and they spend a ton less than these shows do on making this armor crap. I mean, it's like, come on, follow what the cosplayers are doing. Because if they can make screen accurate or book accurate costumes in a cave with a box of scraps, then they should, $1 billion should be able to. I want to see.
They should
I
hire
want to
the
see amazing
cosplayers.
costumes for that. Yeah, that's who they should be having taking care of their costuming.
And this was the show they chose to do instead of a Conan series.
All right, I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that story.
No, Conan is too toxic. The fuck?
And on top of that, some of the people that they had working on that. Oh my goodness. Because of all the legal stuff surrounding Conan, there would have been no way for Amazon to make any changes at all.
Okay, I have to ask for for my ignorance, but Otherland, can any of you tell me about this?
They're touching Tad Williams.
Come on.
Man.
No.
I hope for Tad Williams, that check better be a nice check. That better be a nice check because ugh. That's all I can say is just ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop. Just Amazon, you gotta stop. This might have to turn into an intervention.
They need Obi-Wan to tell them you need to go home or think of your life.
For all the money that they are spending on Rings of Disorder, and you could make a lot of other really cool shows out of that. Oh, geez.
I could take the money that they spent on Rings of Power and give them a better show than they put out with better costume, because I would go to these cosplay people and go, hey, how would you like to be in a movie?
And better acting, because
better acting,
I don't care what people say. This kind of show deserves better acting than soap opera acting. And
wow.
This is soap opera level acting.
Wow. That says something.
Of course.
I have a heck of a lot of respect for the soap opera actors. I do, because I realize how difficult it is for them. But dang.
I'm not saying that soap opera acting should not exist. I'm saying that it has its niche. It has its appropriate place.
Yes.
Teague, do you know where Wheel of Time lost me?
Where?
When they said one of you, and there's men and women there, Is the dragon reborn? No, one of the guys is the dragon reborn because the whole point is the dragon reborn is a male because the male has, it's a male accessing the magical power that drives them insane because it's corrupted. A female cannot be the dragon reborn. It's not the way the book. That's not the way power works in the game. In the book.
John, you got to remember, man. Got to remember. Amazon isn't about that, man. They're not about that. What do they call it? Oh, they're not about that toxicity, man. They're trying to fix the world. They're trying to save the world, man. You can't do it by being all. Yeah, you can't do it with all that toxicity, man. You got way too much toxicity flowing through you, my friend. You have to learn to give it.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. If I'm hard to do this, my catchphrase will be, is it book accurate? No, then we're not doing it.
Oh, well, with that kind of thing, then you might even get Henry Cavill to star in it.
I'm sure.
I'm being serious. He's all He's all about book accuracy. That's what makes him geek among geeks.
Yeah, that's the thing that has me a little confused with Warhammer because he's on that project. He is knowingly book accurate in his views, but that show smells like woke like crazy, man.
Actually, I don't think it is. What have you heard that made it woke? Because if he's going to be accurate to the lore,
we're going to be scolded.
40K is the opposite of woke.
No, that is right. That is right.
But I think they're gonna use females as Astartes.
Okay, well, I think they've added those in the lore.
If they've added that, and that's not accurate to what they have, I think Henry Cavill's out.
Yeah, he'll back out. Now, if they've got, for all we know, I don't know if they're Astartes. They could be Sisters of Battle for all we know.
Hello, Gerry.
Silence. Hey, Gerry.
You're muted.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're muted.
You have no picture. At least I don't have one for you.
I just, I had the most insane morning.
Okay, there we go.
I woke up and Julia's in a panic over at Warriors Publishing and Warriors Inc. because yesterday was insane. I did interviews and it dug into my day. A bunch of crap I got pulled into, and I didn't get the sketches done. I didn't know she had a meeting this morning. So she called me in a panic, and I just sketched up 2 covers in less than 45 minutes. And she loved both of them. And I'm like going, my arm hurts now.
Well, you should use a cryo pack.
I wish I could tell you what the covers are for, but I can't.
Yeah,
it's super top secret. But I'm very excited because it is a cover I did before, and we're doing a special edition of this book. And I'm very stoked. Ideas were coming in from the author that were just terrible. They were really bad. One of them was like a Napoleonic painting where he's on the back of a horse, but it's kind of inferred that maybe he's naked on the horse. And I'm like, yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, that is not a good idea. There is no dude that would ride naked on a horse. Not unless you've never been on a horse before. That's the last thing any dude wants to do.
I want extra padding if I'm on a horse.
Extra padding.
Chafing. So I sketched him out really quickly, very patriotic looking, because there's a concern on the author's part and other people's parts that some people tend to think this person looks like a bad guy. Are we getting an idea who I might be talking about yet? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And because he's a beautiful person. He really is. I love him. He's so important in my personal life. And I want to paint, if I'm going to paint this cover, I want it to be what I see him as. And so I did 2 cool covers where he's completely in uniform, standing in front of the American flag. That's one, almost like Patton. And he's smiling because I think that's important. He really looks like a bad guy when he's frowning. He really does.
When he smiles, he changes completely.
He does. He radiates. And so I did this second drawing where, and I told this idea to Julie, and she didn't understand until she saw another book cover similar. So basically, it's him in his Marine uniform, battle ratty gear, standing there, and he's got a slight smile on his face, but you can't really see it because there's tape over his face. He's a photograph with tape over top of the banner that says the name of the book over his mouth, like somebody was trying to silence him.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
Julia was like, "Oh, I'm in love with this now." And I'm like, I came up with both ideas and she liked them both, knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
I'm so excited. I'm hoping the author goes for it because that's the deciding factor. So she's having her meeting right now. I'm crossing my fingers that everything goes well. People think that, it's just draw something. No, you've got to come up with ideas. It's got to look right. But hey, I wanted to talk about last night, Keith. You need to hang out with these guys.
Okay.
I hung out with the Common Nerd last night and their crew, and they interviewed me dealing with the book and shit. And I had a blast hanging out with these guys. Total comic nerds.
Oh, cool.
So I'm telling you.
Did they talk about, do you happen to know how they feel about what Mark Miller's doing and the interviews?
No, that didn't come up, but it's something that, I don't know. I'm really kind of shocked. And look, you got 2 guys that are very base. Him and the guy that can't draw feet, Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld,
yeah. Both of them very based right now. And this is just me talking.
Yeah.
Don't get upset.
Yeah.
Where were they 2 years ago? They were quiet.
That's legitimate question.
Why are they just suddenly, you get Elon Musk fucking gets Twitter, and then all of a sudden these guys start coming out. You and I've been talking this shit for a long time. Fuck everybody. Now these guys are coming forward. Everybody's paying attention. So-and-so good, said this. It's like, where were they 2 years ago before Elon did this?
They
were afraid to
had
talk.
too much to lose.
That's right. They were afraid they had too much to lose. And that bugs me. Because they let the industry languish when they could have been saying something. And that's all I got to say. I'm glad they're doing it now. But where were they 2 years ago?
Well, I have another point of view of that.
Hey, Gerry?
I think,
yeah, man.
Where do you put your soapbox now that you're off of it?
Well, I slipped and it went up my anus.
Whoops. And with that, let's go.
It's slippery.
Oh my God, no. Let's go to our vindicated.
Yeah.
So we can forget that last comment.
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
Wow, that sounds like a good book.
I'd read it.
Yeah, it sounds okay. No. No, it sounds great. I'm just fucking with it.
I know. Hey, Keith, you got a really great comment just now over on Rumble. You want me to read it to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, on Rumble?
Black
We are
people
not
read
on-
comic books?
Oh,
It's not what it says. This is to your show from last week about Kirby and Ditka. Ditko? Not Ditka.
Yeah.
Ditko. Ditka's a completely other person.
Yeah, it would.
And he says, you got it. Here's an awful story. Early 60s, my older brother made all the monster models, Dracula and the Mummy and all the others, etc. And he had them beautifully displayed on a shelf. And I wanted to add my 64 AMT GTO car I made. And he protested as it didn't go with the motif he had created. He was right. But it ultimately led to a heated argument leading to him smashing my Midnight Blue GTO in retaliation. I go, oh yeah, watch this. And I tear a comic in half. Oh, but not just any comic. Wait for it. Fantastic Four #1.
Oh my God.
A full choice, maybe worth $10,000 today. And it gets better. A few weeks later, I'm getting a haircut and the guy had a rack of comics for the kids to read. And I asked him if I could buy this one from him. He looks at the price and says yes, and just wanted 10 cents. I get back home to give it to my older brother. It was Spider-Man #1. My brother ended up putting a down payment on his house with a box of comics that he had probably maybe paid $30 to buy. That's the kind of collector he is, and spends about $200 a week on comics to this day. Ditko and Kirby are the Mount Rushmore of comic artists. Who are the other two? You should be up there. I love your channel.
Wow. Wow. All I can say is, since day one, since I've been doing this with you and everyone else, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's all about just being who you are and loving, this stuff.
Loving the stuff that we talk about. That's right. Being passionate.
Just there's something to be said, and you can tell by the people who are very successful on YouTube. There is a passion gap between the ones that are able to get and hold on to fans. I'll rephrase
I
that.
think that Martin is like twisted, He's probably some
it's your
serial
fault
killer or something. I don't know.
It's your fault, Gerry.
It's my fault.
Just I you know what? It's just I enjoy the fact that there are people who actually bother listening to anything I have to say. Because compared to everyone else, I am just this guy with a lot of opinions and a deep, deep love of all this geek nerd culture.
How deep? Like all the way in? By the way, I have found the other person on this planet that I like to crack up and cause them to have trouble talking. It's Nick Weiser. I have been doing it for the past few shows of Toxic Tuesday. I'll wait for the perfect moment, and then I'll say something fucked up, and then he loses his shit. And I've come up with my new catchphrase on Toxic Tuesday, and every time I say it, it's sort of like when somebody says that's what she said, when somebody does that, I will wait till he says something, and then I'll go, I want that in my butt.
Oh no!
My new catchphrase. Like, I'll buy that for $1. I'll go, I want that in my butt.
No,
I know that question was for Keith, but in my opinion, the two that should go on the Mount Rushmore of comic artists is Neil Adams and Joe Kubert.
Yeah. What was the second one?
Joe Kubert.
Yes. Kubert probably had the greatest impact on the comic industry by opening his school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He changed the future of comics, and I always wished I'd gotten to go. I think it would have changed the way I drew.
I think really that is one of the top 5 problems I see with comics today, because a lot of these people there are people that are drawing mainstream comics that look like they've never even heard of the Kubrick school, let alone you can definitely tell they did not take any classes with Joe Kubert. That just gets me. I think it's something that Mark Miller had said last week.
Is it Miller or Millar? I've always pronounced it Millar.
It's Miller.
Yeah.
It's Miller. Even though it's an A, it's Miller.
Okay. I was curious because nobody ever told me how to pronounce it. I just assumed.
I've always said Millar.
You too. Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to, I know you've said this before, Gerry. You had looked at trying to work for one of the major publishers. And some of this work today, I have to sit here and just go, well, then why are they keeping Gerry Cassell out? Why can't Gerry just go right down, get a job right now with DC or Marvel?
Politics. That's why Marvel didn't pick me up. Marvel was, talking to me. They were interested way back. And a friend of mine's cousin was the new talent manager for Marvel. And he contacted me. We talked. He was very interested, loved my artwork, felt that I would be a good fit for some of the darker, grittier stuff that they'd like to do. Next thing you know, he goes to the boss to show him my stuff, and then dead silence. And they ghost me. No more responding to emails, phone calls, nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I went to his cousin, who's still a close friend of mine. And I'm like, hey, do you know what's going on? He's not talking to me. And it took a couple of weeks, and she got back to me, and she's like, yeah, well, apparently you're friends with somebody. I think his name is Chuck Dixon.
Wow.
Geez,
So I'm like,
Bane,
So I got shadow banned by Marvel. And all because of my friendship in a relationship with Chuck Dixon. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I'd rather be friends with Chuck Dixon than work for Marvel.
It's like it's freaking high school all over again. When you consider how long the American comic book industry has been around, and for it to have devolved into what it is right now, with people being willing to almost kill this industry because you happen to be friends with someone yeah.
All right, to cheer us up, let's get off this negative rant. I'm going to show
I have
you
a negative
something.
thing.
You have to guess who this is. It's going to be hard, Keith.
Okay.
You're going to have difficulty figuring out who this is.
Okay.
Are you ready? Here you go.
Oh, break it down, honey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who
That's
could that
Shane.
be?
Sing it.
That is Shane.
It is
Shane Moore.
It's our buddy Shane Moore dancing to his computer.
I recognize that mohawk.
He didn't
anywhere.
know she was recording either. He wouldn't have done that. Tracy is so evil.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I was going to
man.
say that my 10-year-old niece draws better than most of the artists at Marvel right now.
Oh, hey, look, a Star Trek 5 quote.
Yeah.
But I have to leave in a few minutes. Scott's coming to pick me up. I got a doctor's appointment this afternoon, and he's going to give me the car. So I got to go deal with that stuff. But I wanted to pop in and talk to you guys. Hey, was there anything that you haven't asked that you wanted to ask me about with Vindicated? How things are going, maybe?
Yeah, how are things going?
None of your damn business.
Oh.
Hey, it's going really well. Last time I checked before I went to bed last night, we were at 2,000. Let me go check see what it is. I haven't seen it this morning because I went straight into drawing this morning when I woke up. I'm like, let's see. Fund my comic. Share my screen again. Present. Share screen. I really think it's kind of gay that they say present. I mean, it's like what an animal does when it wants to be mated with is present. Sounds weird. Just weird.
Cool.
Their choice of words. Vindicated Inc. Let's see. We got another one in the middle of the night or just this morning. We are now at 40 backers at 2025.
Cool.
Wow.
And moving forward, I'm going to be
43 days to go.
43. We got 3 comments. Let me check see what this other. What's the difference between PM copy? Time. Thanks for the sneak preview. Oh, I got to tell him, you bet, man. Hope you enjoy it. Because if you didn't know, once again, I'm going to point out, if you go to our campaign, Martin, you want to share it in the chat?
Yes.
You can actually read 2 chapters from the book. Right here. Right here. And it's chapter 1, God judges his heroes by their scars. Chapter 3, a leg to stand on. I left 2 out because it gives away too much. I don't want people reading it.
Okay, we have this
Wow.
for that middle thing.
What's that? I've played your commercial on the last 2 shows. Don't copyright strike me, bro. It's coming, Teague. It's coming. I want other people to feel my pain. Which goes right along with his previous quote from Star Trek 5 when Cybok
I need
says,
my pain.
I couldn't help but notice your pain. It runs deep. I love that. And Sean Connery was originally the person they wanted to play Cybok.
Yep. And because of certain people dragging their feet, they didn't get to him in time. And suddenly Steven Spielberg comes by and says, hey, how would you like to be in our movie? And Sean goes, well,
of course, I'll play Indy's father.
I'll do that.
Hey, Harrison, who's your daddy?
I think,
and they're only like 12 years apart in age.
Yep.
I think that the thing was that sold Mr. Connery on that role was the hat.
Yeah, I get to wear that old, what's that hat called? I forgot the name of that hat. Oh my God, it's got a cool name. Anyway, yeah, you got to wear that cool hat. But it's pretty cool artwork, I think.
It's very cool artwork.
Well, as much as I love Sean Connery, I don't think he would have made a good Gandalf.
No, I don't either. People would have had trouble understanding because by the time that movie was made, he had dentures, and his speaking was really difficult. Like he was in that movie, what was that 60s series, The Avengers?
Yeah,
with Ray Fiennes and what's her name with the big nostrils?
Uma Thurman.
Uma.
She has black holes for nostrils. Like if you get too close to her and get pulled into the gravitational well, you will die in her nares. I've never seen nostrils on a woman so fucking huge. He could give nasal sex.
She's still gorgeous.
But if you listen to Connery in that film, you can hear the smacking of his dentures. It is really weird.
Yeah, it's about like he smacks a woman.
Yeah, they're smacking around.
Oh, ouch.
Sometimes you got to keep a woman in line.
Got to give him a little smack.
But I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't play Gandalf. I don't think he would have been right for it.
Hey, look who's here.
She's super tall, and she has gigantic freaking nostrils. I mean,
you know what is coming.
And apparently,
oh, yep, there you go.
And apparently Quentin Tarantino loves her feet.
Look, he likes women's feet, period. He's got a fetish thing going
Yep.
on, man. There's something wrong
Except for
with
Brie
that.
Larson. For some reason, he doesn't like her feet.
Yeah.
There's nothing
some
attractive
reason.
about her.
I don't know. Look. Brie Larson is
She hit the gym and got on shape, but
I just don't think she was
personality.
cast. Yeah, I don't think she was casted correctly. She should not have been Captain Marvel. I would have
I
chosen
think she's
her.
got a giant forehead.
No, they finally cast the proper Captain Marvel, and they stuck her in that movie, The Marvels.
Oh,
Oh, you mean the young girl?
Oh no, that's Ms.
No,
Marvel.
Monica.
I'm talking
That's
Captain
Ms.
Marvel.
Marvel.
I'm talking about Monica Rambeau, the actual
Rambeau,
Captain Marvel.
because she should have been. If they were going to kill Captain Marvel, and it should have been a dude, they should have followed the comics, and because that's one of the greatest comics in the history of comics, and it was a graphic novel. I think it was technically one of the first graphic novels because it came out when I was in high school. Was The Death of Captain Marvel, and I cried when I read that, dude. I got so emotional at the end of that book.
Well, I'm tired of hearing you hear all this. Comics need more diversity. When I was growing up, the leader of the Avengers was a black woman.
Yep.
All I got to say is they don't know what they're talking about, and they prove it every time they open their mouths and say stupid shit like that.
Yeah, well, from based on what they have done, every single one of those people is just inauthentic. They are not comic book fans. There are no comic book fans running Marvel Studios. Can we all at least agree on that?
Oh, yeah.
Because including Feige, I call bullshit on his claims.
Yeah, I want to see his card. I want to see the list of comics he's actually read, and I want a face-to-face meeting with him, and I just want to look, man. Just between us, have you really read comics, or are you one of these people that just hits Wikipedia a lot? Because I've not seen anything from him. Because really, everything after Phase 3 really is him in full control, and he's doing it all. He's the one in charge. So if you find yourself thinking, "Oh, it's Kevin Feige and he's this great comic," you need to stop. You just need to stop. He's embarrassed everyone, and every time I think about it, it makes me mad because I supported him. And when you think about what he has perpetrated on all of this, you do have to realize he caused Warner Brothers to go downhill quicker.
Yeah.
Just by the sheer fact of what he has perpetrated. Fox went downhill quicker because of him. And Sony has made certain decisions about the future of how they would use Spider-Man based on what he's done. So as far as I'm concerned, if he were to announce tomorrow that he's retiring from Marvel Studios, hallelujah, get the F out.
Yep, he's overstayed his welcome.
Yeah. Now, I just saw this over on Chuck Dixon's post.
I just saw that.
What is this?
It's the list of who's written the most pages in comics.
So number 1 is Roy Thomas, number 2 is Stan Lee, and number 3, Chuck Dixon.
Is Chuck Dixon. Yep.
But you should be scared because Brian Michael Bendis is number 4.
Ooh, I hate that guy.
Yeah. Peter David's number 6.
Look, if comics could have STDs, Brian Michael Bendis would be herpes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's some great names on this list. Chris Claremont.
Yeah, Chris Claremont here. Marv Wolfman. Gerry Conway. Yes, I'll say it because that's how his name is pronounced. He says how it's pronounced. That's how it's pronounced. Fuck you guys.
Johns.
Fuck Jeff Johns too.
Gardner F. Fox. Live it, love it. Gardner F. freaking Fox.
Grant Morrison.
Denny O'Neil.
Byrne.
Denny O'Neil.
Kurt Busiek,
Garth Ennis, Alan Grant,
Larry Hama, Otto Binder.
Did you notice who's not on this fucking list?
Yeah, I'm
Straczynski.
working on it.
Dan Slott.
Alan Moore.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Because he hasn't really written that much compared to
He's
other art.
a shit writer.
Oh, that's true.
Ooh, look, it's
Don't
Lin
worry,
Wing.
the lead.
Lin Wing. Lin Wing.
Never created a goddamn thing. He took other things people did and did clever things with it and thinks that his shit doesn't stink. What a communist piece of shit he is.
Neil Gaiman didn't know
What?
there either.
you're a writer, Gerry. Please don't be redundant.
Isn't Feige now at Lucasfilm? He's probably hiding there.
Yeah, he's probably hiding there. Look, I'll tell you this much. If things go a different way and Nelson Peltz is able to get his seats, Kevin Feige might as well just leave right then.
Yep. Just go.
Because he's gone.
He's going to be like the second guy in charge of Marvel when word came down they were going to get fired. And he jumped ship and went straight over to DC because they love woke over there at DC too.
Just broke this morning. Nelson Peltz nominates self and former Disney CFO to Disney board.
Oh,
No, himself and Jay Rossello.
Okay.
And some guy named Bob.
No, nobody named Bob.
Everyone's like, hey, who's Bob? I don't know.
So he got 2 seats. That's
It's not
great.
Iger, is it? No.
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 The reason why I'm not happy is that covers the 2 seats that Iger created on top of the seats. Remember, he added 2 seats.
Yeah.
So that covers the 2. Son of a. So basically, Peltz, in my opinion, is going to need 2 more seats. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping he'd at least get 4. If they weren't going to discontinue the 2 seats that Iger added, Peltz is going to need 4, is really what he needs. He got 2, and that's great. They gave him what he asked for, but they weren't going to give him any way of exercising any real power. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, that's fine. That's A-okay. F those guys. Peltz is going to
F those guys in the B.
I just think that they're messing with him. And I think he knows they're messing with him. But that means Feige is protected for now. He got a reprieve. But if Peltz had 4 seats, Feige would have to be leaving right about now.
we have a comment here from Admiralty.
Oh,
Maybe it's some of you can comment on that.
okay. Speculation. It's the one up on the screen right now, or the one he had
Yes,
before
the
that?
one. No, the one on
Okay.
the screen.
Speculation. Disney is loading up Lucasfilm with their biggest losers.
Well, they've lost
They're
money
gonna
with
cut
it. They've
bait.
not made money with Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I
They've
know.
done nothing but lose money. People are like, well, the movies, remember the arguments? They
Yeah.
made money. It's like, do you understand that to make that money, they had to spend money. So they didn't make the money back from what
Yep.
they spent. And on top of that, they've never made back the original $4 billion.
And they've lost money on stuff that prior to them buying it was one of the cornerstones financially of owning Lucasfilm, which was all the toys and merchandise. They've pretty much lost all that now.
Yep.
Again, that's what everybody's been talking about with Hasbro. That's part of the reason why Hasbro's not doing so well right now.
Because
Ooh.
Disney screwed them over.
These guys.
As broke. I like that.
Because not only are the Star Wars toys not selling, the Marvel toys aren't selling either.
Nope.
The only
Hey,
Star
Kings.
Wars toys and Marvel toys that sell are the classic stuff.
And it's exactly what I Perlmutter tried to tell him. He said,
Yep.
look, I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. I'm just saying certain things sell, certain other things don't sell. And even I have to say, the guy's right. I may not like what he had to say, but he's right. There's, he's the billionaire. I'm not. So
yeah. Well, they've been at a loss with Marvel too since 2019. The box office gets hurt with each film, and 2019 is when things started to go south with Victoria Alonso.
Yeah.
They started doing the feminization of Marvel. And not that I have a problem with feminization, like, when you actually feminize. What I have a problem with is their version of it, which is goofy, and it makes no sense.
I believe when you work for a corporation and you have a chain of command, I have really all the sympathy in the world for people who struggle to try to get to where they want to go and to achieve something.
Yep.
But Victoria Alonso, in my opinion, should have been fired long ago, because there is absolutely no way in any corporate company that you can call out the head of your company and keep your damn job.
Yeah, and that's what. Remember when he fired that one dude, and I'm like, that dude did nothing compared to what Victoria Alonso did.
Yep.
And he's not firing her. So he is absolutely. And I didn't know all the stuff that was going on in with the board, that Bob Iger was manipulating the board in order to cock block Chapek from doing what he needed to do. But at the same time, Chapek should have gone public with it.
I don't know.
If he'd gone public with it, imagine how things would have got shaken up then.
True, but he could have easily have been fired and sued, because the way
That's
it
fine,
works,
because then he would have still done his job. He didn't do his job.
The way it works, though, is that the CEO works for the board. That's not the way that things. See, that's part of the reason why Nelson Peltz wants to be on the board, because the board is who tells the CEO what to do. That's the way it should work.
Do you remember when corporations used to be beholden to their shareholders? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I just lost this much respect for you for that joke.
Oh.
So what you're saying, you go to 0 to 0 minus
From
1?
0 to -0.
Oh man. The thing is that given everything that has been uncovered up to this point about Disney and its finances, I've said it before earlier in the show, and I'll say it again. If you or someone is a lawyer, or if you've got a kid in law school, aim them towards Florida right now, because there's about to be a lot of people who are going to need some legal representation. This is not going to be pretty. And after learning this week that it looks like the money that Disney is going to pay to Universal for their share of Hulu, looks like that money is going to be put towards all of the theme park stuff that Universal is using to expand.
Yeah.
We call that sweet justice, kids.
We have sex in the house.
Oh, we're having sex in the house?
Sex. No sex. Sex.
Oh, that's different.
My goodness.
Comcast
just got me excited, and then, I don't know.
Hey, Comcast just wants to make sure they stick it to Disney the best way possible.
Buddy. Before we go, I want to put this up on the screen because it premieres. Is it tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reacher.
Tonight at midnight Pacific time. So 2 a.m. here.
So I'm even though I wasn't excited about the trailer, I'm still looking forward to seeing this new season. See what they do.
Yes. Again, put that picture back up there.
All right.
This guy right here, This guy.
He should play He-Man.
No. Technically, yeah, he could. He was Aquaman. Never
Yes.
forget that.
He was
Never
the first
forget
live
that.
action Aquaman.
He was Aquaman.
His bicep was as big as his whole body last time.
Yeah, he has lost some volume.
No, I'm talking about compared to him being Aquaman. His bicep is bigger than his entire body when he was Aquaman.
He was a little on the thinner side, but
he was strong.
Now, look, I'm just going to ask the ladies in the room. You don't have to immediately answer, but who would you rather see as Aquaman right now to replace Jason Momoa? Who? Because if this guy's on the list, wouldn't you rather see him? Because right now, seriously, he looks like Aquaman. I mean, he's got the look. There's nothing you really need to change on this guy.
Actually, he would be on my short list for replacement of Captain America.
Well, that too. That too. But Marvel's so screwed up at this point, I don't even know. Because they still got to put that movie out. And
by the way,
I'm hearing, yeah,
I don't think she's going to have a problem.
Oh.
Reacher's got it. Reacher's got the beef.
I mean, seriously, if you have to lose your woman to somebody, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he just looks like Aquaman. He could be Aquaman. He should be Superman. If you're going to let him replace somebody, he should be Superman.
I don't see him.
If Daniel Craig can be Bond,
which clearly he can't.
Yeah. Remember when people lost their shit because he's blonde? That's why I'm making the joke about.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got to go, guys. Oh, Ariel Bellet is here. What is up?
Yes. Hope you're feeling better, Ariel.
She's over there triggering me.
Why is she triggering you?
Well,
because she keeps saying that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. Them's fighting words.
No, you know what? Die Hard.
When most of the music in the film is fucking Christmas music, it's a Christmas movie. It's the same thing with Lethal Weapon.
Christmas
Almost
movie.
all of the music in that movie is Christmas music. It's just like a Christmas soundtrack.
When Christmas is integral to the plot of the movie,
yes,
it's a Christmas movie.
There you go.
And it's a Christmas
when the movie ends with a Christmas dinner, it's a Christmas movie. When a car crashes into a Christmas tree in the third act, it's a Christmas movie.
Just because it's in LA and downtown.
And there are whores all over the place in the movie. People get murdered.
Yeah.
It's still a Christmas movie.
And it's not in Poop City. It's still a Christmas movie.
According to John, just because it has Christmas in it doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Just because it takes place at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Christmas
needs
to be important to the plot. No, it doesn't. If you can take the movie and set it in another time and it makes absolutely zero difference to the plot, it's not a Christmas movie.
It would, because there'd be no fucking party.
There you go.
That's my whole point with Die Hard.
Die Hard relies on Christmas for its story to move forward.
Which is the reason why they're doing
Lethal
what
Weapon
they're doing.
Doesn't. Lethal Weapon doesn't.
Yeah.
Because
Lethal Weapon can take place at any time.
That's right. The other reason why they're trying to break in to get the spoiler Bond is because
hey, I gotta go before you finish your thought. I have to go because Scott's gonna be here any second.
All right.
Okay.
So, hey, you guys have a great day today, and I'll check back in with you later. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, boss.
The other thing about Die Hard is this: the bad guys needed to do it during Christmas because there aren't as many people in the building.
Yeah.
And
the
they
only
know
time
that
we're going to have access to the.
that's right.
To be
But
able to
on
break
top
into the vault.
and they knew that, you know, they were very familiar with the procedures as far as their contingency plan for the federal government and the FBI, which means they knew how the local police force would be during Christmas. Christmas is integral to the plot of the movie because it doesn't work if you try this during Valentine's Day or even Halloween. It doesn't work.
Or Thanksgiving.
Or Thanksgiving. It has to be Christmas. In fact, Die Hard 2 also works as a Christmas movie because it also has to be during Christmas, during that time of the year when the airports are so jammed with people.
Yep. Although theoretically you could possibly do it for like another holiday, like the first day of summer or but really at Christmas time and the holidays is when it really is really jammed up for days.
Yep. But again, I just host a show like this, you know. I know what little I know. So
yeah, my rules on what makes a Christmas movie are a hill I'm going to die on.
That's okay. I have mine.
You know what? My hill that I'm going to die on is there's been no real Star Trek since 2005. There you go. In fact, I'm a firm believer that Star Trek canon changed after Star Trek First Contact. That Star Trek's real history occurs all the way up to that movie. And then
when they went back in time and changed time.
That's right. Because of Captain Picard not wanting to do what he should have done, which is start wiping memories.
Keith?
Yeah. Admiral Teague. No. Yeah.
Please don't hate me, Admiral. Please do not demote me, but I do not subscribe to that theory.
What? The only thing that really makes sense.
Well, and just like that.
It's the only theory that makes sense because
I'm gonna start a union in this channel.
It explains why the ships are a different size in Kurtzman's Trek. Because if you allow everyone to keep their memories from when Picard and the crew go back, that alters history instantly. Okay? Not only do they know, with the Vulcans, it isn't just the Vulcans that convince them that there's life out there. The Vulcans just sort of prove that, hey, it's their big introduction to the universe. But they know that there are violent threats out there. So they built all this, and that too. They build all their ships bigger than what they originally started out to be. Now, the only thing that is kind of weak is you're not sure if Jonathan Archer would have existed at all with or without this. Because there's definitely no NX-01.
Yeah.
Okay, the Enterprise, everything having to do with that show, as much as I love it, this explains the reason why it never existed prior to Star Trek First Contact.
How do you know it didn't exist?
Because it's not part of the display in Captain Picard's ready room in First Contact itself. There is no NX-01. And the NX-01 is not presented in the memorial board that they have in Star Trek The Motion Picture.
Okay, but here's the thing: you are rationalizing something like it was planned, and it was not planned. Enterprise was just a
Yes, you're right.
that show came out of the thin air with people who.
Yes.
Okay. I love Enterprise. Okay, I
Yes.
even love the theme music. Yes, hate me, but the people who made that show wasn't that verse on Star Trek. The mere fact that the Klingons appear in Iowa in the first chapter, the first episode. mm,
Yeah. Well, here's my answer to that. Everyone that was involved in making that decision now admit that they had made the mistakes with Enterprise.
Ariel, Star Trek Enterprise is a prequel, but it was not well planned. It's a good show, a really good show.
Yeah,
But it wasn't.
it wasn't
It
planned
wasn't
very
very
well.
planned.
It makes sense that it's part of an altered timeline, maybe even part of the Kelpin universe.
God, no, it is not.
Yeah, I'm gonna from now on, I'm gonna consider it part of the Kelpin universe.
How dare you?
Well, it explains so much because, again, Archer was never mentioned at all in any of the previous material put out prior to even Enterprise premiering. Okay? You never heard that name come out of Captain Kirk's mouth, even though the promotional material told you that this is somebody who Kirk admired, even though he never mentioned the name.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like Spock having a human sister that he never talked about.
You're making my ears bleed. Please don't.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
he did have a half brother he never talked about until forced to when he met him.
But then again, that one, you know, that is canon.
Yeah, it is.
Because Kirk, Spock, and McCoy went up against him and defeated him.
Well, there's an explanation. If Michael Burnham were your sister, would you talk about her? Really?
I'm just saying, you know.
And why is it suddenly that in this other universe that Vulcans can communicate over light years?
That's a good one. That's a good question.
With a hologram communicator that didn't exist after what 150 years later.
I think what
75
John
years
is
later.
talking about though is having the ability to mentally communicate with someone who's not Vulcan.
Yeah.
They did that in the first season of Discovery. Michael Burnham could talk to Sarek mentally.
Oh my God! Why?
Yeah. Hey, but according to CBS, this is Star Trek. Even though the Enterprise that you see in this universe is actually bigger than the one from the original series.
Well, at least it's good to see the chat is enjoying our suffering.
Jolene Blaylock has to look. I enjoy that entire cast. I don't say this with any glee. This is something that I had to basically, when I first saw this and I first heard this theory, I had to really think about it because I was like, no. But as time went on, and I noticed that JJ Trek was using Captain Archer.
Yes.
And they make reference to Captain Archer in
Bryce Beagle.
New Trek. Also, that means that all of Star Trek Enterprise is unchanged. So, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, at least according to New Trek, that's a part of their history. That all that stuff that happened on the Enterprise television series happened. And so there's a lot of similarities in terms of uniform and everything else when you really look at the uniforms from Enterprise and you look at everything that they had in Discovery and there is a logical line there when you look at that stuff. Again, I don't say that happily. I'm just saying it, as a fan who had to really just acquiesce to what was present. Star Trek is exactly what we saw that it was originally. The real timeline starts with Kirk and Spock and the first episode of the series, or technically where no man has gone before, the pilot. And it goes all the way up and in through the Next Generation television series and Deep Space Nine and all that up until you get to First Contact, which
let me just say this. If this is true, that because Enterprise is canon to Kelvin Craig and blah blah blah, and given the way in which Enterprise ends, that is a historic revision of the events in the holodeck of the Enterprise D. Are we saying now that New Generation is in Kelvin timeline? Boom.
Well, all of
There
it.
you
No,
have it.
all of it.
There
All of
you
it.
have it.
Once you've changed it over, all of it. Because look, that's how you get Picard seasons 1, 2, and 3. I mean, the Enterprise crew have to be a part of that new timeline.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I will never buy into that theory. I'm sorry. I love all of you with all my heart, but I won't buy into that theory.
That's how you get Picard season 3. You do realize that is all within the entire timeline of New Trek. It's all part of it. It's all official. No, I'm not making this up. This is actually what they said. All of that stuff that Alex Kurtzman does, all of the stuff under his studio banner, all of it is part of this timeline.
Do you see what is on screen? You're talking about it like it was planned. It was not planned. It's just a collection of errors and misfortunes.
That's right. But this is the reason why Ronald D. Moore left. He left because of that. He warned them not to do it. And all of his coworkers who did not listen to him years later said, yeah, he was right. We shouldn't have done it. But part of the reason why they did it is because part of the reason why Ronald D. Moore was really mad was because they promised him that he would be part of the development of any new Star Trek shows. That's the one thing any Star Trek fan wants to do is they want to work on a brand new series. They want to create a brand new Star Trek series. And every single time any real Star Trek fan with any experience has ever done anything creative to try to do something like that, they get blocked in favor of people who don't know what they're doing. Sorry, I'm starting to get mad here. But it's just, I just don't get this. Let Star Trek fans have their moment. Let them create something. It'll be a whole lot better than what we've gotten. A whole lot better. I mean, even amongst the Kelvin grouping, there was only one person who actually had any real experience and was the only one that was a real Star Trek fan. And oops, they decided not to let him make his movie at the 11th hour. So they fired him and then decided to write a whole new script. And that's what became Star Trek Beyond. Because the original third movie for the Kelvin crew was going to be different.
You mean good?
Yeah. Well, it was actually going to be made by somebody that was a real Star Trek fan. You know, someone who actually watched all 79 episodes and understood what they were doing.
Yeah. Speaking of Kelvin Trek, Sophia, was it Butella?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming to Planet Comic-Con in March.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yep. You know, she's also in Kingsman. She was in Mummy, and she's in
Moon. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to meet her.
Yep, she's going to be there at Planet Comic Con. They just announced it like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
No, I want to ask her why she's not working with Kurtzman anymore. What could have happened? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. She was part of the cast of the that movie that Alex Kurtzman wrote and directed.
Talking about The Mummy?
Yeah. The film that Alex Kurtzman, when you ask him what happened, he blames the whole thing on Tom Cruise. Oh, it's Tom Cruise's fault why the movie didn't work. Oh, you're going to go with that story? And then Tom Cruise turns around and he does Top Gun 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a success? I mean, everything he seems to get involved with makes money. He works with
even when it doesn't look like it, like the latest Mission Impossible, it still made money.
It still made money.
Didn't make like Top Gun money, but it made money.
He goes to work with Alex Kurtzman, and Kurtzman doesn't do very well, and Kurtzman decides it's Tom Cruise's fault. It's like, dude, just accept the fact that with one movie, you sunk an entire universe.
Yep.
You sunk an entire universe.
Universal Monsterverse.
And you had all this talent working with you in one movie, and you couldn't make it work. You get a hold of Star Trek, and it's only because of the people that run CBS that you still had a job. Oh, and the people from Netflix who eventually, it only took 4 or 5 episodes for them to realize they had made an incredible mistake. And that's saying something for Netflix. Netflix seems to take everybody. So, you know, if Netflix says, hey, that money we gave you, we'd like it back. Anyway, I apologize, Barton. I didn't mean to.
Why?
Cross the line.
Why?
What? I don't get it. I am such a Star Trek fan, and to see it going down this road with K-Trek universe stuff and the fact that they're going to continue, the fact that we could have a brand new Star Trek series right now, and it looks like we're going to get it, except that instead of the guy who it should be running the show, who is a Star Trek fan, Kurtzman's going to run the whole thing. So that spinoff Star Trek show that we're going to get from Picard season 3, they're going to give it to us. But here's the deal with the devil. Here's the devil in the detail, kid. The guy who was actually responsible for that, they're not going to let him do it.
Whoa, kid. Well, do you know something about this?
Let's see. Kurtzman and his losers keep jobs because buying them out is too expensive. They've been accused of being terrible on purpose to get them. Yeah. No, I totally get it. And that's the reason why he's doing Star Trek Legacy. Kurtzman is the guy who's going to show run Star Trek Legacy, which means basically they're going to turn all that goodwill from Picard season 3 into basically a show that's going to be an updated version of Discovery with all of these characters that we like. Yeah.
Okay.
Geez, this is just a never-ending series of just bad moves.
Between this and Doctor Who, and I'm not counting Star Wars anymore.
Star Wars? Even. You're not counting Star Wars anymore?
I don't even count it anymore. But with Star Trek and Doctor Who, we're going to need a video of Dr. Smith yelling, "We're doomed!"
Nope. That just means we're all just going to have to get together someplace, sometime, somewhere on this planet and just start drinking heavily.
That's bad for your liver, man. Drink in moderation.
Okay, in moderation. And you know what? If we ever decide to do that, though, I mean, I think everybody will be invited to that party. And we can all just get together and commiserate together and realize that we could have something so much better. Unfortunately, Kurtzman is, yeah. I think.
In other words, Kurtzman's hot garbage. Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Apparently, I decided I was from Boston for a second.
I did. Okay, Joe's Atmosphere. Star Trek lives forever. I just watched The Undiscovered Country the other night. Watch the old stuff. That's the best way to bring it back. Don't mention the new stuff, and it will go away. Yeah, it'll go away. It'll definitely go away after doing a lot of damage.
Oh,
Hey, Admiral Teague. Yeah, everybody's invited. So if you want to bring that, come out.
how about some Romulan ale? I heard that someone invented a recipe for Romulan ale.
I'd be willing to try it. I'll try just about anything. I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to that, Ariel Billette. He says, I don't drink, so I'm destined driver as long as I'm not stuck in a hospital bed. You got it.
As long as it happens before March 8th, I'm not drinking either. So after March 8th, I'm clear to drink again. So
Ta-da.
Oh,
Netflix
what?
is adding Prodigy on the 20th. Well, that's fine. That's a show I don't have to watch. Look, when I say no K-Trek, I mean no K-Trek. I'm adamant. You know, that final line was crossed after I learned that Kurtzman will be sticking around to do Star Trek Legacy.
Look what thing says.
Admiral T got made more money off New Trek than New Trek ever has, simply because my channel finally made dime one. Where's New Trek's profits? Definitely not going to Paramount or CBS. In fact, I don't think they've really made any profit. But here's my thing with Netflix. Dudes, you've already been burned once. Why are you doing this again? I mean, it's bad enough without Netflix. There would have been no season 1 or 2 of Discovery. So, I mean, it's Prodigy reruns, not in production. Oh, well, I still won't watch it. I'm happy that there are people out there that enjoy that. Oh, that was a warning, not a promo. Okay, I get it. I get it, Joe. I get it. Anyway, I think we've gotten a lot out here today. Oh, wait a minute. Ariel Belay, isn't Prodigy a bunch of kids that stole a high-tech Federation ship? Yeah, I know, but it's Kurtzman Trek, so they believe in themselves, which means they can do it. You know.
Okay. Wow.
Look, I'm not about anything even remotely connected or that's a part of K-Trek. I'm just not about it. I think the only thing they did that was any good was Picard season 3.
Yep.
That was it.
And that had nothing to do with Kurtzman at all. That's all on Mateus.
But since now Terry Metalis is not welcome back, and Kurtzman's going to take over.
Yeah, I have zero interest in Star Trek Legacy now.
Yep. It's zero interest. So he just made my decisions about Star Trek in the future really easy. In fact, my advice to everyone is on purpose. If you decide to buy any merchandise related to Star Trek, make sure it's related to original Trek. And here's the reason why. For one thing, it screws up their algorithm a lot. And there's absolutely no chance of Alex Kurtzman to ever get any money off of anything related to O-Trek. So, at least with Next Generation and all the Berman stuff, there's still a little bit of a question. But he gets nothing from original Trek. So if you want to really put the screws to him and also screw with the current people who supposedly are running CBS and Paramount right now, the older, the better. But just go for original Trek. Trust me, it'll do the job.
Oh, Sax, why?
I thought we were friends, Zax. I thought we were friends, man. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not offended.
Walter Hamada, why?
Given the way these people are screwed up, I'd almost consider Walter Hamada. Almost.
Wow.
No. There's just things that you can do that would make things worse, and that would make things worse.
True, because he's responsible for all of these big DC films that we've had the last 2 years.
Although I'll be honest, I'm kind of looking forward to
Aquaman.
a little bit to Aquaman. I agree with Joe. Joe's the same as me. He says the more they've shown, the more I want to see, and it looks good.
I hope so, except that
James Wan hasn't dropped the ball for me yet.
I know, but you need to start convincing a lot of people, because as of right now, a lot of the big theaters around the country, especially the one AMC in Burbank that's supposed to be the easiest and best one, nobody's going. They're treating it like the Marvels. This is all pre-Marvels.
Yeah, I know.
Going into this movie, and that's not good. I mean, I'm with you. I'd like to see Aquaman 2 because I had such a good time watching the first one.
Yeah.
I know exactly what these movies are, and I look at it this way: Jason Momoa is a guy that just wants to have fun, and he just wants everybody else to have fun. All his co-stars look like they're having a ball, and that's important. If Amber's in it or not, that's fine with me. I'm not one of these people that says, "Oh, she's in, I can't watch." I'm not that guy. I'll still watch. But
I'm still disappointed we didn't get our James Wan the Deep or whatever it was called.
The Trench.
The Trench, yeah.
Yeah, but that was a cover. That was a cover.
I know that was a cover, but I was like, I want to see that.
It was a cover for a Black Manta movie, which I think what they ended up doing is they took that Black Manta and they molded it into this story. So what would have been covered in that movie is, I think, the center point of what this story is. But personally, I mean, the movie that's got me excited right now is Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
I've got a problem with Timothy Chalamet as Paul Atreides. I'm sorry. He's just,
I know. Yeah, I know.
He's too much of a stick figure.
But you have to be credit. It's cute. He tried to use a man's voice.
Well, you got to remember though that Paul is a young kid when the story first starts.
Yeah, but he's
not
a young kid, but he's big. If you read the books, he's not a little kid. He's a strapping young man.
Yes.
He's not a stick figure like Timothy Chalamet is.
Yeah.
The other thing for me is the way they depicted the Harkonnen. I mean, Fred Rautha, he has to be a supermodel, and not a vampire from the.
Does he?
No.
I mean, I get the whole thing about. Look, the thing that they're missing is the red hair.
Yeah,
that's prominent in the book.
Yep.
But Fade.
I thought they did well with the Baron. I thought the way that they did the
Yes,
Baron.
the Baron was awesome. I like how his floating device sounds as he's going activated vertebrae by vertebrae.
Well, it helps they had a really good actor play the Baron.
Yeah. I again, that to me is the part that really outside of changing the race, changing the sex out of one of the characters.
Yeah, but it worked. It worked.
It did work.
Yeah.
But outside of that, the loss of the red hair or the Baron and the rest of the Harkonnens is something that is kind of important to a certain extent, but not of utmost importance. I mean, okay, we're gonna lose the red hair. That's fine.
It's not only the redhead. Man, they are look like aliens. And the Harkonnen, they were attractive people. The condition of the Baron is because of an illness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't that thing bothers me.
And let's see, Ariel Bellet, how about Wonka? What do you have to say about this Wonka movie that's been tossed around?
No.
You know what?
No, that's what I've got to say. No.
If you are a fan of the movie Willy Wonka, you're going to have a great time with this movie. But if you're a fan of what the author wanted to do with Willy Wonka and all of that stuff, you're not going to like this movie. Okay? There's a lot of people that have never read the books. They only know that movie, and they judged Tim Burton's movie because it wasn't that movie. And then they read the books and found out that Tim Burton was right. That what Tim Burton was doing was pretty much in line with the books.
Yeah, it was in line with the book, except Johnny Depp's portrayal of Willy Wonka wasn't Willy Wonka, it was Michael Jackson.
True.
Oh my God. Read this one.
See, I like Timothée Chalamet movies. I feel really handsome and muscle bound after I see us. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Admiral T.
You use him as an ego booster. That's other thing. Rebecca Ferguson. If you read books, you see that Lady Jessica, she wasn't particularly beautiful.
No.
And Rebecca Ferguson is a stunning man.
Lady Jessica was a political marriage.
Well, she wasn't married. She was a concubine.
She was it was a political concubine, though. I mean, it was all political. It wasn't. They fell in love, but initially they were. It was a political thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because the Bene Gesserit were trying. Well, that gets into.
Yeah, that's spoiler territory.
Yeah,
no, that's no spoiler. That all was laid out in the first movie. So
somewhat laid out, but I don't want to.
Come on, it's a spoiler. It's a spoiler for a 50-year-old book. Okay, if they haven't read it by now,
Ariel Ballet is going to cause Joe to have a heart attack.
Look.
But
all I know is the way things are headed, there is a better than average. Well, look, it's looking more and more like Deadpool 3 is going to be it. What I am hearing now is it is being speculated that this will be the final Deadpool movie and that Ryan Reynolds is done and that pretty much Marvel Studios is going to take over, and we all know what that's code for, which is just no more fun.
Yeah.
So
Next thing you know, we'll have Gwenpool.
Or worse.
There's worse than Gwenpool?
Gwenpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gwenpool. Look it up. It's an actual comic book.
Oh my God!
GWEN Pool. POOL.
Yeah, I know
Like
about
Spider-Gwen and
Deadpool's
Deadpool.
daughters, but Lady Pool, I know. But oh my God!
I do hear
Hey.
we're getting T-Rex Pool though in the movie.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. I guess that's about it then, guys. I think we reached a point where we're being asked not to spoil certain things. Okay, I get it. And
Yep.
thank you, Joe Satmersfer. Ariel Ballett asks, she says, Deadpool 3 made Ryan Reynolds quit so bad he'd go back to Green Lantern. That's about it. I really do think that Marvel's just going to ruin that.
Well, we're also supposed to get Copycat, so.
Okay, what Dostoevsky says, the movie will end with Deadpool talking how great Mint Mobile is.
I'd go for that.
That would be a Deadpool meta, that's for sure.
That would. But
well,
I've got no faith in the people that currently are in charge of Marvel Studios. So
oh no,
none of them. I got no faith in any of them. And basically, we got another solo movie situation. From what I am hearing, it's looking more and more like they aren't really just reshooting scenes. It's looking more and more like they are refilming the entire Captain America movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I heard something of that.
I heard about that too. That tells you how bad it was if Disney wasn't going to put it out.
Oh well.
Because you know they've been riding herd on that movie since the beginning.
Wow.
To be honest,
that's why they forced the title change.
I only heard about that movie last, like 2 weeks ago.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I've been steering clear about anything that people has to say. I don't give a flying freak anymore. And what was the name change for the willful ignorant?
It was New World Order, now it's Brave New World.
Ah. Oh, like, I see why they changed the name.
Yep, it's like, no, that's too close to the mark. Let's go to Brave New World. Have you guys read Brave New World?
Oh my God.
The name change doesn't make it any better. In fact, it makes it a little worse.
Does it? It's the same thing. Oh my God. Yes, the New World Order is based on a Brave New World. Oh, frig me. Oh, wow. Iron Claw. Oh, what is that? Aquaman 2?
That is a biopic about the Von Erich family, a great wrestling family from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, nice. But Ferrari's in my radar, man. Oh
Yeah.
my God! The first moment I saw Adam Driver like as Enzo, I said, "Oh my God, he is Enzo Ferrari."
Yep.
What do we have here? Yeah, maybe.
And gay. They have to be gay. Few girls in it, make them gay and lame.
Falcon with the Soda will get a movie. Yes.
Yeah. It's not like he didn't chop somebody's head off with the shield.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the poor guy was having a hard time with managing the effects of the super serum. Look what it did to Blonsky.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. That was the one bright spot in freaking She-Hulk was Emil Blonsky, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah.
I like that he went and became a self-help coach.
Yeah. And he got his peace of mind finally.
Yeah.
What's this? What's
Yes,
also
very much so.
Oh,
I trust after
yes.
Afterlife. I trust them to do good with that one.
I'm very curious about that movie. I want to see what's the path that they are trying to develop for the kids.
That's different. That was in
That
the
was
middle of the
war.
war. War doesn't count.
Unless you're a bad guy. Yes, Joe. Exactly.
Yep. Woods are bad. Okay.
Okay, Dwayne Johnson is doing an A24 feature, Smashing Machine.
Yeah, about Mike
Oh.
Kerr, who he looks absolutely nothing like, but hey, okay.
I mean, if Isaac Newton is Indian now, but the show presented what Walker did that's wrong. He did. Yes, that second part is.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yes. Don't call her a terrorist. He just blow people. Innocent.
Wow,
I
we
said-
are like 40 minutes over here, or actually,
Whoa. No,
it's
22.
25, 22. Yeah. So we should probably think about wrapping it up here in a second.
Yeah. So let's.
Well, before we wrap it up, let's put up the trailer once more for Vindicated.
Okay. Let me. Oh, I cannot take these things off screen. And here we go.
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
And that's our campaign for Vindicated Inc. We hope that you will contribute and help make this a reality for Gerry and the rest of the Pop Culture Minefield team. And with that, I guess we should say goodbye, right, Keith?
Keith?
Keith fell asleep.
Well, it befalls unto you.
Well, we thank you all for being here. It's been a great show. We've had a lot of great questions and a lot of great discussions. And we really appreciate you. Be sure to come back tomorrow morning when I play Baldur's Gate 3 at 10 a.m. And you can make fun of how bad I play. And then tomorrow at 3 for TGIF. And then Saturday at 3 for what are we doing Saturday? Is it
Ninja Turtles?
Is it Tom and Gerry?
Yeah. At least that is what at the moment.
Okay. Well, as far as I know, it's a Tom and Gerry episode, Tom and Gerry episode. So, yeah, it's worth come back, check us out. So we appreciate you, and we will see you next time. And remember,
by the way,
wherever you go, there you are. Monkey.